Good morning, Enid. It is 7:30 on this Thursday, July 13th. Thank you for joining us today on this summertime hot July day. Right now, under a mostly clear sky, we have 73 degrees, and folks, it's going to reach the century mark high today around 100 degrees. I'm Steve Keim. Sarah Del Angel is on special assignment, and that special assignment is vacation to California, I believe. But an all too familiar face joining us at the round table is Derek Silas, the bow tie guy. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning. Hello, I'm Derek Silas, and we're coming to you live in over 14,000 homes in Enid, and we're live streaming via the internet and around the globe. This is Good Morning Enid.
And it is time to rise and shine. Out on the farm, it's wide open space, it's clear, and you see all the bright.
Oklahoma receives a real ID extension through June 2017.
You're in your 30s or your 40s, for example. You'll just want to show up at 4:30, but we do encourage you to purchase a
A ton of stuff going on here at the Central National Bank Center. Come on down.
Just send us an email and we'll be happy to share.
Hello.
Hey, Derek. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
It's Thursday again. You know what that means?
Yes, sir.
It's time to rise and shine.
I'm on my way.
Good morning, Jamara.
Good morning. I'm on my way.
Good morning, Kevin.
I'm on my way.
Kevin. Kevin.
Every week we have difficulty getting Kevin to rise and shine. So thank you for joining us again on this Thursday, July 13th at 7:31. And again, it's off to another warm start at 73 degrees and another warm day today. Let's take a look at the current statewide temps if we could. In case you're traveling across the state today, you'll see that we're all pretty much in the 70s, pretty warm really at this early. From Laverne all the way to Pawhuska, Kiamichi down in the southeast part of the state, Duncan down in the southwest, right there on Chisholm Trail, Duncan, Oklahoma, and then Byrnes Flat out at 76 degrees. So you can kind of see we're all middle 70s, and everybody else is going to be around 100 degrees today for today's high. Well, Derek, welcome to the round table here.
Thank you.
Big weekend plans for you and your boys?
I think we'll take a trip out of town.
Okay. That's right, you're going to disappear on Friday. I forgot all about that. Well, the statewide temps, we saw what that was going to be, but the 3-day forecast, what do you think? Is it going to be stay-in weather or swimming pool weather?
Let's see. Looks like it's going to be pretty good. We're going to be in the upper 90s all weekend. Of course, it'll be partly cloudy, but we'll be in the upper 90s, and the lows will be the low 70s. So that'll be a good weekend.
That looks like swimming pool weather to me.
Yes.
And you know, we're not even in the hot part of the year yet. So, oh, that's kind of a depressing thought. So, well, it's 7:33. Hope you're having a good morning. Grab a cup of coffee and join us for, again, we're coming up with news, weather, and sports for the next 30 minutes. And we have a special show at 8 o'clock that we'll tell you about that in just a few moments. But there's been a lot going on. Understand the chant in Oklahoma City has been PG-13, as in Paul George 13. A lot of news with the Thunder. And speaking of the news, it's time for the Oklahoma Minute to find out what happened overnight in the state of Oklahoma. And the bow tie guy, not necessarily today, Derek Silas has that for us. Here's the Oklahoma Minute.
Oklahoma receives a real ID extension through June 2017. And Oklahoma natives and country music stars.
Oklahoma Treasurer Ken Miller reports gross reports for fiscal year 2017. Receipts show an economic recovery underway with higher numbers than the previous year. And an Enid burger joint favorite, Pack-A-Sack, plans on reopening as a food truck in the near future. Yesterday, Oklahoma Superintendent of Public Instruction, along with many teachers, were in Enid for one of 7 Engage Oklahoma education conferences. Also yesterday, ERDA held its quarterly lunch and annual meeting. Mike Fina, the new executive director for Oklahoma Municipal League, was the keynote speaker. Here's your weekly fun fact. In Oklahoma, the Pensacola Dam, located at Grand Lake, is the world's longest multiple arch dam at 6,565 feet in length. Wow. And Tuesday night in sports, American League were the winners in the All-Star game with Robinson Cano hitting a home run in the 10th inning. And on this day in history, in 1990, that romantic thriller called Ghost, starring Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze, and Whoopi Goldberg, opens in theater across the United States. And that was in 1990. And that's the Oklahoma Minute.
Wow, 1990. Do you remember the movie?
Oh, yes. That was one of my favorites.
and I think the Righteous Brothers song, I'm trying to think of which one it was part of that movie as well. So, golly, I'm trying to think of that name. Well, I'm sure our support team, Penn and Dane, will figure that out for us. Anyway, 1990, man, where does this time go? Have you been across that bridge at Grand Lake?
No, I have not.
It takes a while to get across, so, I mean, that's a lot of water. So it's a big bridge as well. Well, again, at 7:35 this morning, I'd like to remind you if you have any pictures of a large bridge or whatever you want to take a picture of on your summer vacation, you can send that to us at gme@enid.org, gme@enid.org. And again, our host teams will be glad to see your letter at the mailbox and present the picture. And so if you're on a vacation trip, I know a friend of mine is going to Colorado, and they've been putting pictures out on Facebook. They're in western Oklahoma, and they're in Kansas, and now they're in Colorado. So if you have any pictures you want to share with us, please send them to us at that address. And I noticed that we have some Kildare chicks that have made it. And this is out on the Ponderosa, or AJ's Ponderosa, who supplies us with a lot of wildlife pictures, and we appreciate that. gme@enid.org, just send them to us. And if you have birthdays as well, please send that to us. Well, let's see. Morning's moving right along. It's probably time for entertainment or something.
Yes, there's always something going on in Enid. And to learn more about what's going on at the Central National Bank Center, here's Kevin.
Ton of stuff going on here at the Central National Bank Center. Come on down, see us, and get some tickets for any of these great events. Welcome to the Central National Bank Center. I'm the General Manager, Kevin Brisky, and we are standing in the lobby of Convention Hall here at the Central National Bank Center. An event going on behind us. Have a busy July. It starts this week in the Event Center side, and that's with Blackthorn Elite, a local band with a few local bands playing some great local heavy metal music. If that's something you're interested in, definitely come down and check it out. That's going to be Saturday night on July 15th. Then we have Dancing with the Stars on July 20th, live hot summer nights. All your favorite professional dancers from the show, and also celebrity Heather Morris from Glee as well, who performed on this season of Dancing with the Stars Live. You don't want to miss it. Tickets still available for that one. July 25th, we have Garden Brothers Circus coming in for 2 shows. That's at 4:30 and 7:30 on that Tuesday. And then in August, we have the Oak Ridge Boys on August 4th, a great show. It's going to be hot outside. It'll be cool and rocking here in the Central National Bank Center, so you don't want to miss that. Some other things coming up. We just announced Gala of the Royal Horses. That's going to be on August 26th. We have Rodney Carrington coming on November 10th, and on December 7th, we have Mannheim Steamroller. So we have a really busy schedule going on the Event Center side, and as you can see here, we are rocking on Convention Center side as well. If you're ever looking for a place to hold a wedding, reunion, birthday party, you name it, any kind of event or fundraiser you want, this is the place to be. Just give our sales team a call, and we'll be able to help you out. Until next time, back to you, Steve, in the studio.
Very good, Kevin. Thank you very much. Does such a great job for us, and also a great job for us over at the Event Center with all the events coming up. It's just amazing. Dancing with the Stars. Are you a big fan of that TV show? I've seen it a couple times, but
I like it. I watch it.
I would think Derek would be a great contestant for Dancing with the Stars. So next Thursday, we'll see if we can get Derek on the stage and participate in that. It would be a sight if I did it. It would be painful if I did it. But I think you could pull that off with your athleticism and stuff like that. Well, it's 7:39 this morning, and around 73 degrees. The high today around 100 degrees. We had the privilege a couple weeks ago. Do you remember when Rumble from the Thunder showed up? What was your impressions of Rumble?
Okay. He's very energetic.
Oh, it's just amazing. He visited the Enid Television Network studios one afternoon, and the guy was just, Rumble was so fun, so much fun. And we had a chance to interview. I've never interviewed someone who didn't speak, but he spoke in different ways. Yes. But we also had an opportunity to talk to the Vice President of sales and marketing. His name is Byrnes, and Brian was up to speak at the Rotary Club, and he took a few minutes to stop by the ETN studios. And we talked about the fan base, we talked about Rumble, we talked about really everything to do with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so we have that for you this morning. This is Brian Byrnes, Vice President, Sales Marketing for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Senior Vice President, Sales and Marketing. Everybody's got a handle on sales and marketing, but just kind of tell us a little bit about your role. Sounds important.
Well, it's really diverse, I can tell you, and I think that's the joy of the business,
Okay.
is that there's no such thing as a day in the life of a Thunder employee. You know, we have
Okay.
about 140 full-time employees work for the organization, and everyone's working in such disparate fields, but it's all united against, you know, some founding principles, and that is the guest experience is number one, and our community investment is number two, and to treat people with respect and to create a brand that is lasting, has great value, great integrity, and unites people together. And regardless of where you are in the business, whether you're in accounting, customer service, ticket sales, digital media management, the list goes on. Everyone's united against the common purpose, and that is to really respect what we can do in terms of the economic and cultural vitality of our state, and to do the very best they can do.
It seems like basketball is kind of a fall to spring type sports. Really gets cranked up in October, and then the playoffs, May, June, July, or something like this. But in sales and marketing, it sounds like that's a 12-month or 14-month out of the year opportunity.
Well, there's never enough time of the day, right? But it's a labor of love. What we do is a real privilege to work for the Thunder and to deliver this day in and day out.
You were talking about the game experience. Can you just kind of give us a, I think people, when they think of the Thunder, they're just kind of focused maybe on just the basketball players and maybe the arena and things of this nature. But a typical day for you, there's probably not such a thing. But can you just walk us through maybe some of the things that you would experience in your role behind the scenes?
Well, sure. I think the thing that we think about the most is delivering an exceptional experience for our fans. You know, the thing that we know acutely about our business is that we can't control what's going to happen on the floor. And the players that we have are unbelievable athletes and even better people. And what Sam Preston and his team do every day to attract the best players they can with the best character to represent the very best of all of us in Oklahoma is job number one. But at the end of the day, I can't tell you if we're going to win or lose. And I can't tell you, how the players are going to play or how many points they're going to score. And so it's a strange situation where the control of the product is really out of control. And so what we've learned how to do is to really control everything else about that. So when you think about what we're doing on a daily basis, it's to control what we can control. And that's the guest experience. It's how we treat people. Sure. It's the type of content that we create for both in arena or on social media or television broadcasts. It's the type of events that we create year-round to make sure that the Thunder is an approachable brand. There's authenticity to the experience. And we think that drives the value proposition. We think that drives fan loyalty and fan engagement to the point that, this year was probably our best year ever for the brand. And folks are more connected and more engaged. Attendance and television ratings and all of the things that we can score the business on are an all-time high. And that is due to the direct result of very hard work by a lot of people to focus on the things that we can control, and that is the experience of the Thunder, both at the games and outside the venue.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. I'm glad I got to hear that. My ears have finally calmed down from that horn blast. My special guest on City Connections today is the Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Brian Byrnes. Brian, Rumble was gracious enough to leave the basketball here, and I think everybody in the state of Oklahoma or around the globe can really identify with that particular logo. You had mentioned a figure that was just astounding to me. You said on staff around 140 employees. I can't imagine. That just doesn't seem possible for a franchise, if you will. Now, you've kind of shared some of those roles, but it seems like the roles are always behind the scenes to make that game experience the best, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of the work is quote-unquote behind the scenes. The majority of our staff are made up in service roles, whether we're selling tickets, developing relationships with those folks to make sure we're customizing their experiences, never taking for granted that someone who's investing their time and their money behind the Thunder, never taking that for granted, always making sure that the experience every year is fresh and it's robust and customized. Experiences to us are very important. We think that really creates the connection year over year. As the team matures and evolves and changes from year to year, the thing that has to remain constant is the connection to the experience and the brand. Folks in digital media and television broadcasting and our marketing team and all the folks that are behind the content that are so prevalent today through social media channels. We're producing so much more content today than we've ever done. And that is because of the proliferation of so many different media channels that it really takes an army of folks to think that through, to develop those programs, to make sure they're aligned with the business principles and values. And then that's transferred to the game experience. When you're in the arena, regardless of where you are and where you sit, the experience has to be first class. And from the way you're greeted on the concourse to the way that the game experience speaks to you through all of the promotions and all the experiences and the music and the videos and all those things are all designed to point folks towards a common purpose, and that is a great experience. And the team is a huge part of that. The team sits right in the middle of that methodology. And when they compete at a high level and they give their very best effort day in and day out, that's the Thunder experience right there in a nutshell.
When I looked at your bio, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you joined the Thunder organization in 2005. And here the Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder, is getting ready to celebrate 10 years or very close to that. And I understand that you were involved with professional baseball in a previous professional life and maybe hockey as well. How does all that experiences prepare for you? Because someone's watching this interview, Brian, and they're thinking, wow, what an opportunity this guy has in professional sports. So they may want to know, how do you get to where you're at? So undoubtedly, your experiences in other professional venues have prepared you for this role with the Thunder.
Well, sure. My career spans a number of other professional sports teams. I've worked for a couple of professional hockey teams in Dallas and Phoenix. I worked for the Texas Rangers baseball team.
We've heard of them.
And then I moved to Seattle to join this organization in 2005. And so I've been an employee for a number of years, but certainly all the time in Oklahoma City. And it's a privilege to be here. And the thing that I've learned the most about Oklahoma City and Oklahoma at large is that this brand and this thing called the Thunder really matters. And that's not to suggest that other sports teams aren't thinking like that in terms of their community profile and their connection to their community, because I think they all do. But in this market, it's different. The state of Oklahoma really sees the Thunder as a valued resource. And it doesn't matter where we go, we activate programs throughout all 77 counties in the state of Oklahoma. And we have a regional reach in multiple states with our television broadcast. Wherever we are, we're reminded about the importance that the Thunder has in uniting people together, creating a sense of confidence, optimism, a sense of forward orientation, and a real pride in the Thunder. And that reminds us every day to do our work at a high level, to be creative, to continue to innovate, to continue to be responsive to the fact that it's so much more than basketball for us. I think other organizations, that I talk to my peers, they're sometimes very focused on today, on tomorrow's ticket sale or the next game. And in many cases, they have to be, because they're in a marketplace with a lot of competition, or perhaps they have a great legacy with their business and expectations are aligned a certain way. We're different. We have to think constantly about how we represent all of Oklahoma and everything that we do. And that's a great honor and it's a great privilege.
And speaking of all of Oklahoma, it seems like when the Thunder is about to play a game, there's a little bit more energy that's raised in the state of Oklahoma at the time. And you see that even when the Thunder's on the road and you see a young person wear a Russell Westbrook jersey and they may be in Philadelphia or something like that. So the brand is out there. And one thing that I've noticed recently in some ball games that, when the Thunder plays, the people they're in the seats, their fans are there. And I noticed a couple of other teams, and I won't be specific, and I would look at that and I'd tell my wife, look at all those empty seats. Don't they know that the game has started? So that has got to, I guess, reward or know that you're confirmed that you're on the right track with all the work that you all are doing when you see people in the seats early.
Well, I can tell you, we look at those empty seats in those other buildings too, and that really helps sharpen our focus. Yeah. I think we're fortunate that the experience in Oklahoma City has always been so interesting and so robust and so meaningful that we've created a whole attitude that the game experience starts well before the game begins, and that we encourage our fans to be there early. We tell them constantly that the team really benefits from that it's different in Oklahoma City. And I can tell you in conversations with Sam Presti and his staff over the years, they take a lot of interest in the fact that when you play in Oklahoma City, it is different. And there's an affection for the team that's displayed by the fans by being early, wearing blue. Look at your outfit today. Your wife did a great job. But wearing the blue and getting behind the Thunder and being early and being vocal and being positive and encouraging the team. This isn't a high school football game. This is professional sports. But some of those attributes do apply. And Sam has told us repeatedly that the players really do appreciate it, that there is a difference in playing in Oklahoma City versus some of the other markets. And over time, that's going to continue to define the identity of the Thunder. Sure. And that's as much a fan identity as it can be a team identity. And as we bring new players into this organization year after year, part of the narrative is that this is a great place to play. You're supported, it's encouraging, it's positive, the fans are with you. And I think that creates a special environment for all of us.
Thank you, Brian Byrnes. It was a real privilege to sit down and visit with Brian for about 30 minutes that particular day. And that was after I had the introduction to Rumble. I will never forget the excitement with Rumble. But he does a great job. Anyway, the entire interview you can see on Channel 12 here on the Enid Television Network. Again, that was Brian Byrnes of the Oklahoma City Thunder. You've been to a Thunder game. I know your boys have been, I think, to a Thunder game.
I have not yet.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, I thought you had last fall or whatever. But it is quite an experience. And it's an Oklahoma team. Yeah, it's Oklahoma City Thunder, but it's so unique that it's an state of Oklahoma team. So anyway, we appreciate Brian stopping by. Well, we have a couple meetings coming up. Did you go to the 4-hour City Commission meeting last week?
No.
No? Okay.
I watched it on the live stream, enidtv.org.
Well, next Tuesday is we need to go to the MAPC meeting. I'm sorry. Next Monday will be the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission meeting. That will get underway at 6 o'clock. If you're unable to see that live and in person in the council chambers, you can watch it on enidtv.org, just what Derek mentioned too. And then we got the City Commission meeting?
Yes.
Tell us about that, if you would.
That's going to be Tuesday, July 18th. And we're going to have the study session. It says lower level there, but we've just recently heard that we're going to change that to the council chambers at 5. And then we'll have the actual meeting at 6:30 in the council chambers. So
I think we're getting so used to the fact that MAPC is on TV and it's being live streamed, the council. Remember the days where it wasn't so readily accessible, and now it's just kind of mainstream that we have all these meetings and you can watch on your smartphone or mobile device. So anyway, MAPC Monday, City Council on Tuesday of next week. Well, it's 7:53. Our temperature's gone up to at least 75 degrees. High today, 100. So keep the pets cool, give them plenty of water, keep them out of cars, keep your kids out of cars, because it's really hot inside these automobiles this time of day. So to find out what happened with the news overnight, in case you missed it, and Derek gave us an update on baseball and everything else that was going on, here's the Oklahoma Minute.
Oklahoma Ken Miller, the treasurer, reports gross receipts for fiscal year 2017. Receipts show an economic recovery, which is underway. And an Enid Burger joint favorite, Pack-A-Sack, plans on reopening as a food truck in the near future. Yesterday, Steve had the opportunity to talk to Oklahoma Superintendent of Public Instruction. She was here for a conference, one of 7 conferences for education. And also yesterday, ERD held its annual meeting and quarterly lunch with the new executive director, Mike Fina, as the keynote speaker. The fun fact for today is the Pensacola Dam, located at Grand Lake. It's the world's longest multiple arch dam at 6,565 feet inland. That's long. And Tuesday night, the American League gets the win over the National League in a 2-1. And on this day in history, in 1990, the romantic thriller Ghost, starring Demi more Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg opens in theaters across the United States. That's the Oklahoma Minute.
Very good. I can't believe 1990.
Yes.
They all three did a great job in the movie, but Whoopi Goldberg did she did a fantastic job in that particular movie. Well, in about 5 minutes, we're going to have a program with Chuck May. He's the Vice President of Communications with AAA Oklahoma. And Chuck came by the ETN studios here recently, talked about some summer driving tips, and that's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. In case you missed the 3-day forecast earlier on our show, Derek has that for us right now, and I think it's just really going to be HOT.
Yes, it's going to be in the upper 90s all weekend. It's going to be partly cloudy, and then the lows will be in the low 70s. So it's going to be a nice weekend. Swimming time, or just out and about.
Or just find the shade. Speaking of shade, the splash pads, we have just a moment to let you know about the splash pads. They're operating, they're going to be up and running, and you see right there on the screen before you where they're located. The operating hours at 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I mean, even at 7 o'clock at night, it's still, 96 degrees. So anyway, splash pads have done a great job this year of staying open and working and cooperating. So. Okay, it's time to find out about Enid Entertainment, and the one person that can get us informed on that is Kevin Brisky, and here's Kevin once again.
Welcome back to the Central National Bank Center. A lot going on the event center side in the next few months. It starts this Saturday, July 15th. Blackthorn Elite, a local heavy metal band, some local great music coming on here at the Central National Bank Center with a few other bands. You don't want to miss it. July 20th, we have Dancing with the Stars Live, Hot Summer Nights, the professional dancers from the TV show you watch, along with celebrity guest Heather Morris, who was in Glee. She will be here, and that's going to be July 20th. Then July 25th, 2 shows, 4:30 and 7:30. Garden Brothers Circus, don't want to miss that. And then we wrap up the next 30 days, let's say, with the Oak Ridge Boys, and that's coming up on August 4th. We go into later 2017 with Gala of the Royal Horses, August 26th, Rodney Carrington, November 10th, and Mannheim Steamroller, December 7th. A lot going on here at the Central National Bank Center. You don't want to miss any of it. cnbcenter.com for tickets and more information. And until then, back to the studios.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate that. So what are the summer plans for your family? You guys going?
Oh, we're just going to go visit my parents
Okay,
this weekend.
and that's in Mississippi,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Could be warm.
Oh, I'm sure.
Could be humid.
I'm sure.
Well, anyway, I think we'll just stay here and melt. We'll let you go to Mississippi and melt. So it's 7:57. If you want to help out and find a home for a pet, 249-4910 is the number to call, and we have a promo, to remind you how you can help out to find a home for these pets. We'll look at that.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and this is Russell. Russell's looking for a new home. At Enid Animal Control, we have lots of pets looking for a new home. Come visit us at 1200 South 10th Street.
Thank you for joining us on Good Morning Enid at 7:58, 75 degrees, and we have one of the cutest things. And my wife needs to see this solid black, green eyes. It probably brings back memories for her. We got a little guy here, little girl, I should say. And Charlotte Ringwald's with us. Charlotte helps us out every Thursday. Good morning.
Good morning.
Who's our little friend?
We have Leia here. She is an American domestic long hair, and you can tell that she's black. She's female, about 2 months old. She hasn't had her shots and hasn't been fixed yet, but the cost to adopt covers that, and it'll be $50.
So once you look at the camera there,
Yeah.
cutie. I got a red tongue, so that's good.
Yeah.
Pink tongue.
And she's got 3 other sisters at the shelter, and we have about 8 cats available at the shelter right now.
Look at that face right there. See those green eyes? And I can just feel her vibrate. We got to go. Make it a great day. 249-4910. Take her home.